has run 24 hours as well. I remember standing with him in the line to get food in Albi a few years back when we were finished with the race. Please put your hands together for the hometown hero from India, Binesha. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your panelists, and we'll get a chance to see them, talk to them, and hear a little bit more about them. So, well, thanks a lot for taking time to spend your Friday morning with us right before when the race is about to begin tomorrow. So I'll start with Pablo. Pablo, tell me a little bit, how does it feel to be wearing the Argentinian shirt representing your country on the national stage?
Sorry. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy, first of all, I'm very happy to be here again with Nadim. Nadim is a very good friend. We met many, many years ago. I was in the 2011 Trail World Championship, and then I was running also 100K, 24 hours. We've been together many, many times. And I'm so glad to be here after so many years. For me, representing Argentina, especially because I live in Italy, is something very special. Running a World Championship is a great opportunity to be together with with all the countries and many good runners, and especially good people. This is going to be my 14th World Championship between 24-hour 100K and trail. So for me, it's kind of amazing. It's like an opportunity to live again all those emotions that I was living when I was a little younger. I was surprised to get the chance to be here because I made a good 6 hour, and I've been training quite good on road, so I had this chance. I couldn't be present in the last World Championship. So for me to be back and to be here with sharing the track with so good athletes is very, very special.
Thank you, Pablo. Same question to Liz. Liz, I mean, 50K brush off, 100K World Championships in India. How's it been? How does it feel to be wearing USA on your as your uniform?
Yeah, it's just a really big gift. And after Berlin, that week after Berlin, when I got home, I found out I was pregnant with our third child. And so to be given this opportunity, training went well leading after her birth. And so when they asked me to be on the team, it was, I knew the privilege that it was to wear the U.S. And I saw the other teammates that were selected, and it was just great motivation. We have a very, very good group of women, and it's just a really big gift.
Awesome. Binay, you can use your own microphone. Binay, we're in India. It's your hometown. It's your home country. How do you feel running for India?
Sir, so it's an privilege and honor to represent India at this stage. So when I started running in 2016, I never, imagined that I could, represent India someday. So 2018, I got this opportunity to represent India in 100-kilometer World Championship Croatia. So, and here I am sitting. So standing among the best ultra runner in the world is something, both for me humbling and exciting. So I am feeling blessed and grateful. So it's like dreams, again comes true for me. Thank you.
Dreams do come true. Dreams do come true. My dream has come true. I'm interviewing you, Binay. So,
thank you.
Karina, 100K, 24 hours. Is it ever going to stop? Australia, Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
That's right. Yeah, so it's an absolute honour to represent. So this is my 5th time, so not as many as you, but yeah, the sense of pride and also the responsibility in a good way is quite significant. Yeah, I'd like to think that my time in representing also encourages local runners and athletes to creates an awareness to them and to be able to think that one day they'll be able to represent as well. So, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Andrew, you can have a microphone as well if you want to. So tell us, I mean, you've run for Poland a lot, and Poland comes with a very strong team, so you're part of a good delegation. How does it feel running for Poland?
I think first of all it's kind of honor to represent a country on such an event, and also from a perspective that training well, we are creating a strong team, give this opportunity to kind of fight for the team medal during this World Championship. So I think it's a really honor to be part of this team. And there is also this kind of, I would say, personal side that it gives us kind of motivation, and it's really good to be here among these people, kind of be part of this community. And it's kind of inspiring to see these people, how they are performing and joining their daily life with this kind of pushing the limits.
Oh, that's great, Andrew. You can keep the microphone yourself because the next question is for you. So when I saw you in Taipei, when I was there for the site visit, you came around and looked at the course with us as well. And then you told me that your work-life balance is really good because you were actually working from Taipei and you had been there for a few weeks prior to that. So how does this work-life balance work for you when it comes to working and also training really hard to be on the podium like you normally are at some of these international events?
Yeah, it's really challenging to kind of have this daily job, do twice a day training, and still find the time for some relax, recovery, for a family. So I think it's a lot about choosing priorities in your life. So at some period of a life of a year, of course the work has to gain the higher priority because kind of we also have to live somehow, earn a money. But then comes a period of a year when there is a stronger push on a event like this to prepare well, get body on a high level, to be able to compete with the best runners around the world. And there is also times when this family gets the highest priority. Kind of, we cannot forget about them on every stage. So, yeah, it's really challenging to kind of balance all of these items to kind of be a good runner, have a income for living, and create a happy family.
You're absolutely right. Family is very important. We're going to talk about that since Liz kind of mentioned that she just had a baby recently as well. But moving on to Karina. Karina, same question to you. Work-life balance, how does that work for you?
Okay, so my work-life balance has been a bit different on the different times I've represented. My circumstances have changed. So I've had a few of the championships where I've worked full-time, had 4 children at home, and tried to balance all that. So it is a matter of prioritisation and scheduling and being a bit adaptive and flexible with my training as well. I am self-coached, so it's given me that little bit more flexibility there to be able to go, well, I can't fit that run in there. Yeah, and sometimes breaking up the runs over, especially the long runs over you know, morning and night, and making good use of time. So I've had moments where I've had to do the long runs at 1 o'clock in the morning to make sure that I'm back in time at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning when my children arise. And I think although my circumstances have changed now, the repetition and the structure hasn't changed. So I still continue to do that, even though I've got a bit more flexibility with time now. So yeah, it's just learning to, yeah, as you said, like prioritise and make best use of time that you have available. Yeah, including the downtime.
So Karina, let's touch on this thing about self-coaching. So a lot of the athletes that run are coached by somebody. Many, including myself when I was running, I was self-coached. So tell us a little bit about this whole concept of self-coaching. Do you find that advantageous, or there is some cons to it as well?
Okay, so my first representation was in 2018, and I didn't actually set out to, well, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I didn't particularly set out to go for qualifying time to represent. When I did achieve that qualification time and was selected to be part of the Australian team in 2018, it was actually the team manager at the time that reached out to me and said, oh, look, I think that I can assist you a little bit with your training. So I had Brendan Davies for a little bit prior and a little bit after that time. And I picked his brain in that 6 months. And after that period, yeah, I just used and adapted to what I felt was, used all his knowledge and expertise, which was brilliant, and adapted it to my work-life balance. Some of it I could fit in, some of it I needed to modify, and I guess I spent a lot of time working on trying and testing with many, many failures along the way on what worked for my body and my own limits. So I think I've just kept that momentum there. So yeah, it seems to work for me. Could I improve? Yeah, absolutely. Don't think that I've got all my own answers. Absolutely not. Certainly got some weaknesses there, but yeah, it's been more of a habitual thing, and yeah, I'm here for the 5th time. I still seem to be here. So.
Awesome, thank you. Good old Brendan Davis.
Yes.
Haven't heard that name in a while. Binay, so what does family support mean? And I know families are a big part of everybody on the podium, everybody who's going to be running in a championship. The family support, what does that mean to you?
Without family support, it can't be possible to be there. So I can say that family support is the backbone for any of the athlete journey. So I am living in a joint family, and I am married. I have 2 sons, 16 years, 11 years, and I am doing a regular job from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I used to train in evening hour. So after my training, 9:30 or 10 p.m. I reach my home, right? And so it takes my whole time, basically. You can say family time. So here, wherein my wife comes play an important role, and she supports me, right? So without her and my parents, it is not possible for me, right? So while I'm training for this 100 kilometer here in Bengaluru, so Delhi is highly polluted, right? So from last 5 weeks, I am traveling nearby, states like Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. So these are the mountains area wherein there is no pollution, basically, I mean to say. So going there every weekend, after the office workout, I have to drive 250 or 300 kilometer to reach Kangra or Rishikesh or my hometown. So it's all about the support from family only, because she sacrifices a lot, my kids sacrifices a lot, my parents, missing me. So it's in support only, which the reason being I'm here.
That's good. And one of the states you said is actually my home state, Uttar Pradesh. So moving on to Liz. Liz, I mean, I got a chance to hang out with your mom and dad for a few minutes before this started. And they were in Brasov as well, from what I understand. And your kids show up randomly. Is it randomly? Is it planned? However it is, they show up at these events, and so does your husband. So tell me the effect of family and the support of family when it comes to your own lives.
Oh, it's everything. Just having my parents here this trip is really special. I never expected to visit India, and so to come here with my parents, I think they never expected to come to India as well. And then to be here as part of to represent our country, it's just in the next level. But from my husband, working, and we have 3 kids, I have to get up very early to run, and thankfully, he is not a runner, and so he is at home with the kids, when they're sleeping, and I'll try to be home by 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. But that balance is great, where we just yin and yang, we balance each other out, and it works out very well. But it wouldn't work if he wasn't there, or my parents too. There's days where my husband has to travel, and I'll call my mom and be like, I need to run 2 hours. Can I drop the kids off at your house? And I'll go run around their neighborhood or whatever it is. But it is very special to have them travel. So we brought a 1 and a 2-year-old to Brașov, Romania for that 50K, which was a hit. They were a hit at that race. I think they were the only kids that came to that trip. They don't remember any of it. But for Berlin in 22 was my husband, and it was just a really special trip to have with him that year. So now this is probably my final Team USA opportunity, and having it with my parents is very special.
And I totally support that, because I mean, the position I'm in, I have great support at home too from my wife and my son, my 10-year-old. And every time I travel, I tell my wife I'm going to go grab gas. I'm going down the street to get gas. 5 days later, I show up back home. It's just the gas station was really packed, So, yeah, I should be back home in about 2.5 days. Pablo, Virginia Oliveri, do you know that name?
Yes, of course. She's the most important person in my life, because she's a great runner also. We've been sharing this life since we were really young, and we've been doing this together. And she was representing Italy for 9 times, running 24 hours on trail. And running is part of our lives. Then, after so many years that we've been running, then we got our daughter, and she was born in this environment, and she doesn't know life different. I think she can't imagine a life without her parents running, because we are always running. Running is part of our lives. And we are very lucky. We live in a very nice place in Italy, and we have our times, and sometimes we train together, and sometimes we give each other the time to train. And also our daughter, she's training 3 times a week with a group of childs. We got a school of trail running. So she's having fun also running, and I think I'm very lucky, because we share together this life experience with this woman, Virginia.
And I know when I was the director of communication, I actually wrote a piece on you and Virginia, on the first ultra running couple of IAU, because both of you are top-notch runners. So does that help that your spouse runs as well, and you can enjoy something with your life partner?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'm listening to other experiences that the husband and wife helps a lot, but at one point it seems that they are doing something for the other, and at one point everybody feels like the other is sacrificing something, or helping, or doing something. In our case, it's the way it is. We just run, and when we have to prepare a long race, because, for example, we've been in Spartathlon 2 months ago, and we just wake up early or go out during the night, and we do it together. And sometimes we are tired, but we are really tired together. We are stressed, and we fight, and we argue, but we are in the same symphony. So it's like something just different. It's not better. It's the way it is. I don't know. I don't have another experience of somebody helping me without running, because I consider myself very lucky because she knows everything. Tomorrow she will be supporting me, and I think she knows everything about me, and the same when I had to help her on a race.
Awesome. Thank you, Pablo. And I'll have to learn about that. I'll have to learn about argument with my wife in synchrony. It has never worked. Vinay, India and ultra running. India is going to the podiums in ultra running. Ultra running is becoming very popular in this country. How have you seen the sport grow in India over the last 10 years?
So ultra running has, in India has grown remarkably over the decade, as you said. So when I started running in 2016, I can say, so there is, less ultra running events in India and less number of participants. But now I feel that, ultra running has given another opportunity to the people to take up the challenges, basically. So in India, we have many ultra running happenings, right? I can give an example like the Hell Race, which has all the categories like 50 kilometer, 100 kilometer, and 100 miler. So it's the only event in India from A to B distance wherein you will qualify for this Spartathlon. So today we have many Indians who have finished this Spartathlon and even Badwater. So when I see the first edition of the border race, so there are only 120 participants. And in today's, there are more than 1,000 participants in the Hell Race. So I can give you another example like some events happening in Ladakh, Khardungla Challenge, Silk Route Ultra. So these runs are happening at an altitude of more than 3,000 meters. And it starts at 3,000 meters and you reach up to Khardungla Challenge, Khardungla place, which is the highest motorable road in the world, right? So people are there week advance, to just to acclimatize over there. So and the number of participants also increases over there. So when the people take these challenges, acclimatize, finish the race, so they write, about their experiences in the Instagram, write the blogs, and the other people who are DNF or who take these challenges. So same with the other events. Also, there are many events basically in the India. So people are now, taking these challenges, test themselves for 100 kilometer, 24 hour, whether it's a trail run, whether it's a deserted run. That I'm talking about the Hell Race, which is from Jaisalmer to Longewala. So it's in cold desert. In the morning it's hot, in the evening it's too cold. Same way Ladakh, high altitude. So it's growing basically.
That's awesome. Now, Liz, I've been living in the US for 20 years, so I've had a first-hand look on the growth of the sport in the United States. But being there in the middle of everything that's going on, how have you seen this change over the last couple of decades?
Well, I think from my perspective, what I have seen, there's been a large growth of very, very strong women in the US in the marathon. And when COVID happened, for me, we all had ways of coping with the pandemic. For me, I just started running longer and longer times. And so I think women are seeing the opportunity from the marathon. There's been tons of women that are just killing it at the marathon, but then they see that the 50K really isn't that much different. So they bump up to the 50K. And then from there, they're like, oh, well, the 50 mile isn't that bad either. So they're just kind of creeping up the distance that way. And they're good at it. There's a ton of women that are just killing it at the distances. And so we have a world record holder on our team. And it is very exciting to see women, and women that I really care about, doing very amazing things. It's very motivating, very exciting and inspiring. But I can't really speak to the men's department that well. I really just focus mostly on the women. So, but yeah, I think it's the growth from the marathon that it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. And there's more opportunities too.
Yeah, one of the team managers you have on your team is Lauren Caldwell, Dr. Caldwell, who's actually on our medical committee as well. And he was a top-notch runner back in the days as well. Yes. So you've got that experience in the tent as well. So, no, that's great. I'll go to Andrew. Andrew, I had the opportunity of going to Katowice, I think it was 2011, 2012, for the 24-hour World Championships. And since then, I mean, Poland is outstanding. It's amazing. Patricia Bereznowska, I mean, multiple-time world record holder. You yourself, Andrew, you're doing so amazing on the international scene. So how has ultra running grown in Poland over the years?
Oh, since I started to be interested into ultra running. I would say that it changed a lot in Poland. And there already was medals from the girls team in 24 hours race. It was kind of inspiring also to see mentioned Patricia, that she was the world record holder. And how I seen it developed over the past few years, it gained a more of attraction. A lot of people kind of seeing this well-performed runners also kind of trying themselves to exceed their limits. And I think that a lot more people kind of attending these events. Maybe it's not so much big boom like in trail running, but the results get really much higher on the Polish stage, talking about 100K, 12 hours or 24, or even the last few years. Thanks to one organizer, we are building a really strong team even in multi-day running, like 48 hours. And talking about 48, there will be this Gomu World Championship next year in Poland. So I think that it's really amazing to see how it's developing over the years, how the results are kind of improving, and the team getting stronger.
Awesome. Thank you. Karina, as you know, I was in Australia earlier in the year, and that was my first time there, and I got a little bit of a tour of the ultra running scene in the country, and prior to that I was in New Zealand, so Wayne and gang took me out for a few runs as well. So it was kind of cool to see how Australia has actually grown over the years, because I always had an outside perspective through Aura, and I've been watching you guys since I first came on the international scene, which was back in 2006, and how it has increased and it has become ultra now. So how has that transformation been in Australia with adding trails to become the wider part of ultra running as well?
Yeah, so there's been ultra running in Australia has grown exponentially in the last 10 years and significantly just before and post COVID. And along with that, there's been a huge increase, obviously, with participation and interest. And to cope with that, there's been a proliferation of additional ultra running events across the country. And from there, the interest is wide and sparse, caters for all levels of ultra runners, where historically it might have just been, your select few of athletes that and a few events in all our capital, in all our states and capital territory. And in all our capital cities, the number of run clubs as well has grown exponentially. So from that, we obviously a lot of athletes that have progressed into the ultra running scene and into representation. So we find that even with our World and Asian Oceanic Championships, we've got new runners coming into the scene all the time. That's complements to the growth of the sport. With the Australian Ultra Runners and Trail Association, that's seen significant growth, particularly in the last few years with interest rates, its participation rates and the amount of members that have joined as well. Even our social media pages, it's significantly grown to the extent that we've put in representations in each state. So we've got state reps that help build and grow the sport in their local communities and within their state, which has obviously drawn more interest into the sport. So, yeah.
Awesome. Pablo, I was in Argentina earlier in the year, and I was there about last couple of years now. So tell me a little bit about the growth of sport of ultra running in Argentina.
In Argentina, we have a group of managers that are trying to push everything as much as possible. We are, as you could see, organizing really good championships lately, and I think the sport is getting organized quite well, and of course there are many runners willing to do long distances. Sometimes it feels like it's just a cultural thing that the people keeps on shorter races, but there are good organizers. Things are getting much better now, and I think also there is a lot of people doing trail running, and many, because it's like kind of obsession for Argentinians that we do ultramarathons to get to Spartathlon. So I think it's quite good at the moment. I don't know if you like it when you've been there in the South American Championship, but I think it's quite okay, the movement at this moment.
Muy bueno.
Muy
It was
bueno.
very nice. Muy
Yes.
bueno. Muy bueno. All right, thank you, Pablo.
Thank you.
Liz, I've seen pictures of you running around the community, and obviously I've seen you run at the International World Championships. Where is the love and where is the passion? Back in your backyard or on the international stage?
Oh man, for me it's based at home. My inspiration is my kids, my husband, my family. I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. It is very motivating to represent the U.S., obviously, but I wouldn't be here without them. And so tomorrow on the roads, and I've talked with some of my teammates this morning, we're going to be thinking about our families at home the whole time and the family that's here. And that's going to be what's fueling us to keep going and keep going. Short and sweet answer.
Short and sweet, but to the point. Karina, you've run in Asian Championships in Oceania. I mean, you ran in Amman, Jordan, right before we got hit with COVID. Then you ran in the National Championships for Australia in the 24 hours earlier in the year, and now you're back for the 100K at the World Championship level as well. So how do you figure these continental championships, the Asian and Oceania, or the cups we organize, kind of help getting new athletes onto the world stage in the World Championships?
Yeah, so the regional championships certainly help promote interest and awareness of the sport. In the and surrounding countries. So that helps bring in the runners to the into those the Asian Oceanic Championships, which ultimately may lead to the World Championships. It's got significant benefits. Yeah.
Awesome. I you run roads. You remember when you were running 24 hours and I was announcing, it was, I think, I forget, one of the championships you were at when I used to announce at the championships, and you stopped and you showed me a number on your shoe. And you said
it was in Poland.
It was in Poland?
Yeah,
it was in Katowice then.
Katowice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you run 24 hours, you run trails, you run roads, you run
that
everything.
day of course I was really sure. I was convinced because I wrote the Argentinian national record on my shoe, and I got it. And it was so nice. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that anymore. But I was feeling great that day, and I remember the last hours. Is finishing at 24 hours when you're getting your national world record. Your national record is like amazing. So I remember it as a very, very nice day.
Yeah, it was an awesome day, and I don't think Jacek Batkowski, our new director of communications, will allow me to announce at races anymore too. So you're retired, I'm retired as well.
Yeah.
All right. Andrew, so tell me a little bit about 24 hours, 100K. You do everything. So where is the love? Where is the passion? Do you like to be running fast or do you like to run long? Or do you like to run long, fast?
Yeah, the best would be to run long and as fast as possible. But yeah, kind of, I like more this 24 hours races, kind of, it's way of kind of transcending, kind of facing this big kind of drawbacks of the running, kind of mental challenge. But yeah, but to be good on 24 hours, you have to be good and improve on the shortest races, so it's really comfortable for you to run this a bit slower pace, but for a much longer period of time. And I see this 100K also a point where I would like to reach the, let's say, Polish record level. Yeah, but I think I'm already at this age that I'm not competitive at the really short distances, but they're kind of really important in the training schedule, kind of doing also test runs, test races, just to improve the speed performance. Yeah, but the main goal is 24 hours, like for me.
Thank you so much. Binay, you have done the same thing. You've done 24 hours, 100K, road, desert, trail. You have not run on water yet, but so tell us, where is the passion, where is the love?
Sir, basically I love both the distances, whether it's 100 kilometer or 24 hour. And the only thing is that, I take both the challenges alternatively, year by year. So the only target is like, to get better year by year. And I love running basically. So whether it's 10 kilometer, half marathon, full marathon, 50 kilometer, 100 miler, 24 hour, stadium runs, whatever. So my target is simple, come up with the new plan, come up with the new training, and get better in terms of your time, and right. But 100 kilometers is more about the speed and the endurance, and you have to complete the distance within time frame. Sorry, as soon as possible, as you want. But in 24 hours, you have to be there in the track. It's a game of complete mental resilience and the patience basically to be there and covering maximum distance. So I love both the formats.
Awesome. Well, last question to all of you now is the same question. IAU is hitting 40th anniversary. This is our 40th anniversary. We have seen the growth of the sport. So I want you to have a magic 8-ball in your hand, something like the future, the crystal for the future, and tell me, what does the future of ultra running look like? I'll start with Pablo.
Well, I think technology and nutrition is getting better, so I think it's quite normal that more people will reach ultra distances. So I think not in the early future, but I think we're going to be some massive events going on, maybe in the future. I don't know how far in the future, but I think it's something that will grow.
And let's promise that if it goes to 40 years from now, you'll still be sitting where you're sitting and I'll still be sitting where I'm sitting.
I hope technology and anti-aging will be for everyone. So no, for sure, I will run and as long as I can. It's been like more than 20 years on a quite good level for me, just enjoying and keeping going. So maybe.
Thank you, Pablo. Same question, Liz.
I just see records getting shattered year after year, and that's going to keep everybody motivated to keep going as true technology, nutrition is perfected and changed, and yeah, everybody's just going to get faster and faster, and we'll see if the distances get longer and longer. Who knows if it's going to extend beyond 6 days, or whatever the longest one is. I don't know what the longest race is officially, but 6 days. So we'll see if it goes beyond that. But yeah, faster and faster times.
No, that's very true, and we have seen records being shattered the last couple of years now, whether it's 50K, whether it's 24 hours, 100K. So we are kind of in this cusp of something very cool happening, and it's cool to be witnessing it, not just as running enthusiasts, but also ultra running fans. So absolutely. Binay, future of ultra running.
Sir, I agree to the point, basically. In India, what I see, every weekend there is some running happening somewhere, in India. And people are used to participate over there. And they enjoyed their weekend run. They take their friends, their relatives to the run and make them to run as well, right? So it's look like, so basically it's bright. The future is bright.
Future is bright. Absolutely, future is bright. And you're absolutely right. I mean, it's becoming a family affair. It's becoming a friends affair, right? You bring friends to these races, you build your community. And guess what? When we come to these championships, we are amongst friends. I'm sitting on stage amongst friends. I stay in touch with all of you all year round. I know you personally. And that's what this community is all about. Karina, you're nodding your head. Someone I've known for almost a decade, if not more. Yeah. Where's the future of ultra running headed?
Yeah, so I concur with all your views that you've just said there. Yeah, and I guess in addition with the IAU, it's a camaraderie and a cohesion and sharing of best practices and all the way down to the training. So you find that even in the in the restaurant, it's the camaraderie, the unit, united. So it's one big family. And I feel that over my time in ultra running, it's certainly we're getting closer, stronger, and united as the years progress. So,
That's absolutely right, because together we're going to make the sport strong. And we have seen that over the years, and that is showing not only in the number of athletes who are coming, the number of federations that are attending these events, it's also the number of labeled events we have, and just the sheer number of races across the globe is just expanding. And it's exciting to be part of this journey, Andrew, the future of ultra running.
The future. I would like to see some of the ultra distances get into Olympics. And as far as I know, there is some consideration about trail running. So this might be the missing element that kind of speed up the things development and help to gain more attention to ultra running. But personally, I would like to see, maybe that's not the future, but I would like to see that ultra running kind of involve more people, that kind of these runners are maybe a bit less focused on the breaking records, because it cannot be endless kind of breaking these records, but more focused on a kind of spiritual change, kind of a way to look deeper into themselves, to use this running maybe not as a goal, but as a tool to drive them to some way, to help them to change their lives, kind of from a bit different perspective than just getting the best possible shape to break some records.
Absolutely, Andrew. And regardless of which part of the globe I'm in, the first question I get asked is, when is ultra going into the Olympics? And yes, you're absolutely right. There's works being done behind the scenes. Trail running is our probably best option, but obviously there's a lot of discussion still to be had and to move forward. But yeah, the goal has always been to somehow get ultra into the Olympics. One last word. That's one word is all I'm looking for. When you think about ultra running, what is the one word that comes to your mind? This is just one word. Start with Liz.
Mental.
Mental, in a good way, in a positive way. Pablo.
I think freedom.
Freedom. Binay, one word when you think ultra running.
Friendship.
Friendship. Karina.
I was going to say freedom, so I'll say purpose.
Purpose. Andrew.
Oh, I would say community.
Community. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have heard community. We have heard freedom. We have heard mental. We have heard friendship. And we have heard purpose. So there you go. So our ultra runners are not only elite ultra runners, they think deep. And that's what this ultra running community is all about. It's about helping each other get to the very best we are. And if there was an image of what this world should be, they should look at ultra running. They should look at these athletes. They should look at the athletes who are running tomorrow, because that's a true reflection of what this world should be. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Andrew Petrovsky, Corina Black, Dinesh Shah, Elizabeth Norton, Pablo Barnes. Thank you for attending. Thank you so much. Let's have a quick picture. All right, Jacek, one just with the athletes. Okay. Move a little bit in the center.
Thank you. At 10 o'clock, this is just a reminder, we start the technical meeting, so you can stay here. At 10 o'clock, we'll start with technical meeting.